Wilson here again. I'm really excited to show you my new range of dies that include our new Noble dies and our new weaving dies. These are amazing, but you really do need to watch the video to see how to use them. I'll show you the dies in the packaging so you'll know what we're using for today. I've also got our sentiment stamped onto the pierced flags, which is part of our frames and tags section. I'm going to be using the Splendid Swirls out of our finishing touches. The Noble die here is the classic Adorned square. I'm also going to be using the Ornate pierced squares and the two weaving dies. Now here we have the classic weaving die and the striped weaving die, and these can be used together like we're going to on this video or independently of each other too. So let me do a little bit of explaining with these dies first off, because if you look at these you think, what exactly is that? It's to be fair, it's not a very exciting die to look at it like this, but wait till you see what it does. Now this is your classic weaving die, and so you'll end up with something that looks like this. Now if you notice, it doesn't cut out on the ends, just in the centers, and I'll tell you why we've done that. It saves a bit of cost on the die because we would have had to make it longer. So I'm just going to have you trim that. And on the striped die, it looks very similar, but there's cut lines up on the bottom section, so you end up with a piece that looks like this. Now you can use this by itself, you can use this by itself, but for today's card we're going to use them together, which means you do a little bit of gluing on top. You can either use a spray mount or a wet glue and just glue them on top of each other. To do your weaving, you're going to have two of them, all right? And what you'll need to do is when you first take this one out of the die, is take a paper cutter or even a pair of scissors, and you're going to trim away the edge piece from whatever size you've used. So just a nice, simple trim so that that last little bit is your last weaving die. Same thing on this side, and I usually just line it up real gently like that. Okay, and you want to leave yourself a finger hold on either side. So just about a half an inch. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like that. Okay. So you have two pieces now, like I said, and you'll put them on top of each other. So what you'll end up having is two dies like this. All right? Now, on one of these dies, you're going to nip the ends free. Remember how I said it was joined there? So you'll keep it joined on one side. On the other one, you're going to nip them into pieces. So you're just going to take your scissors and nip them apart. The edge is, like I said, it's a finger hold for you, so it doesn't have to show, it won't show, and it doesn't matter if it's perfectly straight. You just need to be able to get to each one of these pieces individually. There we go, and the last one. Okay. Now, to do your weaving, what you want to do is just bend these back so that each one of them is up as far as it'll go, okay? Just get a little bit of a play in there. And take one of your pieces, and you're just going to start. You're going to alternate every other one. Run it underneath and put it all the way to the top. And that's why I said if you bend them up as far as you can get them, you'll be able to get that piece right up to that edge. Oops. Pop that back into place and pull it up. And then you've got a little bit of overhang on either side. So the next one we're going to bend up is the opposite one. Take your next piece, just pop it underneath. There, there. Bend this one up a little bit. And get that through, and you can bend these back at the edge and pull that all the way up. Okay, and because you've got a bit of depth there between the two pieces, you're not going to be able to get it right up super tight, so don't worry about that. And it depends on what type of card you use for this. If it's very thick, there'll be a little bit more of a gap. Go to your next one, alternate back to the first set that you did, and bend it up. And I like to just kind of get it underneath all the way across. There we go. And then you can pull it up a little bit and get it into place a little better. There we go. Kind of work it up with your finger. Back and forth. Going to do all your pieces. You will probably end up with a couple of pieces left over because of the distance between them going this direction. That's not a panic. And get that last one. So you can see how that's starting to form a beautiful weave. I won't do the rest of it because I have gone ahead and done a full piece of it here for us. Now to finish this off, all I do is I will lift the edges of these and use a bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue under here, all the way around, flip it over, the same thing on the opposite side so that it'll all be together. It'll be glued tight into place, okay? So now I've got a beautiful weaving that I can work with. Now, to make the frame using the Noble, I've gone ahead and used the outer rings of the Ornate pierced square here and created a frame. But I want to dress that up just a little bit. And what we've done is used the outer ring of the Ornate pierced, but I've taken and I've got the regular Adorned classic square on top of that. Now let me cut it and show you what we can do. Because they've been sized a little bit differently on purpose, we can make matting and layerings. That sound is the die going into the cutting plate, so don't worry about that at all. There we go. Let me get that off of there. And what I am left with is this gorgeous little edge. See how pretty that is? Glue that right on top so your pierced edges will match up because I have piercing dots on both the inside and the outside of the dies. So you'll end up with a frame that looks like that. So you can decorate your frame any way you like, and there's also a decorative piece in there you can use if you prefer. So now I've added a little bit of mounting foam to the back of this, and I'll show you how we're going to put our card together. Work that around, and I'm just going to line that up over my weaving, put that into place, and now I can nip these away using my scissors so you won't even see these. Just be careful not to catch the top of your frame there. Work your scissors underneath there. And because, like I said, I've glued those edges down, it's going to be nice and secure, plus with the mounting foam, it'll hold it into place really nicely. Catch the edge underneath there. And the last side here. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now I've got a beautiful frame with the weaving done in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and I will just add a bit of glue around the edge here. Just keeping that right to the edge. All the way around, and we'll glue it onto our background. I've gone ahead and done a little bit of piercing. Let me tidy up a bit. There we go. Made a really pretty frame for it. And with these lovely clipped corners on that, you've got a perfect spot for all your pearls. I just love the way that looks. Okay, so now I've got the base all completed, ready to go. So we're just going to add a little bit of a sentiment. I've gone ahead and I've stamped the sentiment, which is from the Delightful Sentiments from our new clear set in a black archival. I've used the pierced flags in both white and pink, and they layer up really nicely. I've got a bit of mounting foam on the back of that, and I'm going to seat that right about there. Okay, and we'll put our floral elements on. So I've got a bit of white tulle that I've gone ahead and tied into a knot, because I love the way tulle looks coming from underneath your flowers. Pop that right into place. And I've cut a couple of these swirls, and they go left and right facing, so you've got a little bit of both you can work with there. And I think I will just trim this one down just ever so slightly, make it a tiny bit shorter. And we'll put this into place. I'll have it kind of curling inward, so I'll use this one on the top, like that. And I'll keep the one on the bottom a little bit longer, I think. I'll leave that regular size. And pop that right there, and we'll have that just moving out away. And I've done a flower using the Camellia Complete Petal, and a bit of Tattered Rose Distress ink, and I put some dry as clear glue and some ice snow on it to sugar it, because I just love the way that looks. We'll put this into place with some glue dots, and that will cover the ends of that swirl real nicely. And finish up with a couple of beautiful stick pins that we've made to match. I'll pop that in there, and that one in a little taller. There we go. How pretty is that? Gorgeous, elegant. Oh, I just love the way those weaving dies look. So you can see you can have great fun with these, using them with decorative papers, different colors, layering them on top of each other, using them by themselves. So many different ways they can be used with a simple weaving technique.